and welcome to another Scare-You-Wary of our short puppet reviews. I'm Avery, and I'm Lashing Eye Lucy. And once again, today we're going to cover something that's a little bit on the scary side, a little bit on the chilly side, but has a whole lot of fun practical effects. Yeah, I'll say this for HBOMax's horror lineup, they perfectly fit our niche. They're a little silly, they're a little scary, and they got a whole lot of puppets going on. It's amazing. It's just, mwah! It's perfect. It's perfect. We're talking about Little Shop of Horrors. So kind of similar to when we discussed Gremlins, Little Shop of Horrors is clearly a classic, or at least a cult classic. It was directed by former Muppeteer Frank Oz, which of course is a very big deal. If I remember, I think it was the first movie he ever directed. Yeah, I think I remember that too. Like he was bouncing between that and working on whatever Jim was working on at the time. I think that was The Dark Crystal. So, busy guy in the 80s, Frank Oz. Busy man, but very much appreciated. Oh no, wait, his first directing was Muppets Take Manhattan. Oh, okay. And then this came after that. Is that right? I'm not looking that up. Okay, well let's get to actually talking about the movie then. Yes, let's. If we get into history, me brain's gonna hurt. So Little Shop of Horrors is a musical based on a stage musical that was based on a play. So it's like an adaptation of an adaptation of an adaptation. And again, it's more of a comedy horror because the whole horror comes across this ginormous plant from outer space that eats humans and wants to take over the world. Yeah. That pretty much sums up the whole thing there. Really cool performances. You got some cool cameos, lots of fun work, and of course the puppetry, top notch. Yeah, that's a big thing that makes or breaks it, especially if you see it on like a stage performance too. Really comes down to the giant Venus flytrap-like alien monster plant. If the puppetry on that isn't top notch, then the whole thing just kind of falls apart. But again, lots of fun. We have seen this movie before, but it had been a while since either of us had watched it. So overall, it's just a really fun time. Fun music. Let's go over favorite moments then, since we've already kind of seen it and we're just rewatching it since we hadn't seen it in a while. Yeah. So my favorite moments are, I like the moments with the main character, Seymour. I like watching his journey and how he kind of goes through things. Because he starts off, he's pretty much goes through the whole movie as just kind of this timid, shy character. But he's got to slowly learn to stand up for himself, especially when eventually he has to stop his plant, Audrey 2, that he's taking care of. And it's turned into a giant man-eating monster plant, and he realizes he can't handle it anymore. He's got to put his foot down. So I like the Seymour moments because Seymour's just kind of a shilly guy, and he wears glasses like you. That has nothing to do with me liking Seymour. No, but he does have glasses like you. Beside the point. Me favorite parts are with Steve Martin, the dentist, especially when he sings his whole dentist song about how he likes to torture things, so he became a dentist. I love that whole scene. It's very, very funny. Well, it's kind of horrifying. Imagine having all those drills and shots and stuff in your teeth and gums. But that's the funny part. He could have so easily turned out to be a murderer. But no, instead he became a dentist. And that's good enough for him. Isn't that funny? I guess it's a little funny, but I can't help but think about how much my teeth would be in pain. You take things too seriously sometimes. Let's kind of wrap up the conversation by talking about kind of the ending. Especially the two different endings. Oh yeah, good point, because there was this theatrical release, and then there was the original cut that was too scary for test audiences, or the test audiences didn't like it as much, so they basically had to rehash the ending. Yeah, what a rip. So between the intended ending, which is the plant Audrey 2 spawning a bunch of tiny Audrey 2s and they take over the whole world, and Seymour and his girl, and basically all the humans die in the movie. Between that ending that was supposed to happen and the ending that actually happened, where Seymour and his girlfriend are able to defeat the plant and get to live happily ever after. I feel like I already know what you're going to say your favorite ending was. The original, obviously. Yeah, I thought as much. Let me guess, you like the happy ending? Well, yeah. I mean, I know that's not the point of horror movies, but I don't know. You just see them go through so much, so it's nice to see that they finally kind of get to escape Skid Row. Well, yeah, but that's not the point. The point of Little Shop of Horrors is to have horror. And the horror is having a giant plant take over the world with like that crazy voice and singing music for all of eternity while humanity slowly gets eaten alive. That's the satisfying ending. At least to me it is. And that was the original ending. So it was kind of sad that, they had to recut it. But now I suppose there's an ending for everyone, so to speak. I don't know if I could say this movie is for everyone. The plant gets kind of raunchy sometimes. Yeah, he goes nuts, doesn't he? So overall, obviously Little Shop of Horrors is a great fun movie, especially if you like those dark horror comedy aspects when you're watching a film. Kind of along the same lines as Gremlin, just cut a little differently. And if you're looking for kind of a dark musical-like thing, then clearly a classic you're looking at here, Little Shop of Horrors. Lots of great acting, lots of great music, lots of great puppetry and cinematography. Just a lot of great stuff going on. There's not much more we can say about it. Now, we should probably cover something we haven't watched next time. Yeah, probably. So with that in mind, we are still going through HBOMax's lineup of horror movies. I think there's a few more things on there that might be oriented to our puppet niche if we wanted to check those out. Or, of course, you can always comment suggestions below on what we should review, because all of January and February is Scare You Wary. Yeah. So with that, I'm Avery, and I'm Lucy, and we will see you next time. Yeah, next time. All this talk about plants has made me really thirsty. We should go get some water. Yeah. Hey, Avery, what? Is that a cavity? What? No, a cavity! I don't want to go to the dentist!